An attractive man with an avoidant attachment style is a little bit like a polar bear. Looks good from afar, maybe you would love to cuddle with it a bit, but as soon as you get too close, it will not end well. An avoidant man is going to confuse you a lot. See, a regular uninterested man will at least have the courtesy of being very low effort, and he's not really going to be interested in you. He will never love you. A man with an avoidant attachment style can be very interested in you. He can love you deeply, but will still avoid you when you come too close, and he will hurt you. Another issue is that there are a lot of avoidants on the dating market, and there are not a lot of them in the total population of people. Scientists say around 20 to 30%, but if you are dating, you will seemingly bump into an avoidant on every street corner, so to speak. And it's not hard to figure out why that is, of course. The securely attached men are securely attached to their girlfriend or wife, and they may stay with her for a lifetime. The relationship of an avoidant, however, that relationship has a shorter shelf life than a ripe avocado. Turns bad quickly, especially when he's with someone who has an anxious attachment style. Avoidants are very allergic to that. Another problem is that they don't wear a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Mark and I'm an avoidant." They do not carry a red flag or other visible warning signs. So a lot of women don't realize a man is an avoidant in time. A woman meets a man and she finds him very attractive, and good news, he seems interested in her, he shows up on time for their dates, he didn't forget his wallet, he asks her out for new dates and she doesn't even have to remind him to ask her out again. Great, all seems well in love land. But when she tries to get close, she hits an invisible wall, and it's a special wall, because as soon as she tries to reach beyond it, by saying things like, "I said I love you about 3 weeks ago. Do you not love me back?" Or, "You seem a bit distant. Is anything wrong?" The wall gets bigger and he will start to pull away, and perhaps he says things like, "You are pressuring me. Why is this so important to you? Why are you so sensitive and demanding?" and yada yada yada. When she wants to talk about it, he doesn't, because there's nothing wrong. He loves her and he likes her and he knows that. So what is there to talk about? Why make an issue of something that is not an issue? That's why I want us to talk about it right now, and why I will devote this entire video to the man with an avoidant attachment style. We will talk about how to best deal with him and also what he's attracted to, because as you will see, avoidant men are attracted to some pretty weird things. Let's decipher him a bit, because a true avoidant can destabilize any woman, even one with a secure attachment style. If you don't know me yet, my name is Geert, I'm an author. I also use the pen name Brian Knox. I write about relationships, dating and other topics. And first, we will need to see why an avoidant is an avoidant. Most researchers agree that avoidants became avoidants because they learned when they were babies and toddlers that the emotional connection with their primary caregiver, usually the mother, was inconsistent or sometimes non-existent. So as a protection mechanism, they learned to keep people at a distance and to take care of stuff on their own, to not rely on another person, especially not for their emotional needs. Now, for starters, let me throw in a first weird thing an avoidant is attracted to. Very attracted. A woman who breaks up with him. Not kidding. A woman who says that she has had enough of his mixed signals and him not showing and knowing what he wants. When an avoidant hears that, an avoidant that likes her, he may suddenly go all in. He may tell her that he loves her and mean it, because he actually does, and then he will tell her that he wants to be with her and that he's ready to be open and loving, and again, he means it. But why? What a chameleon! Well, it's for the very same reasons avoidants often fall for women that already have a relationship with someone else, because there is no risk. The threat of the intimacy, of the closeness, is gone. If a woman is already dating someone else, or if she broke up with him and she's stepping away, there is no closeness. There is no intimacy. She doesn't have any expectations. She doesn't care. She's out, which takes away his fear. Now he can feel and show how much he truly loves her. His self-defense mechanism is not activated then. It's weird, but when an avoidant is really attracted to a woman and he's chasing after her, he will be able to get very close to her as long as she hasn't fallen for him yet. Because the moment she does, when she falls for him, that's when all of his alarm bells start to go off. That's when his avoidant attachment system will be activated. And this proves how virtually impossible it is to be in a relationship with an avoidant that's not actively working on his issues. And even then, it will be very hard. So a difference with a narcissist, for example, is that a narcissist is playing games. A narcissist is manipulating the woman he's with. He's deceiving her, and he knows that. That's his goal. A man with an avoidant attachment style, however, often means well. He may really like his girlfriend. He may love her. He's just very afraid when she gets too close. Men with an avoidant attachment style can indeed love a woman, even a lot. What they do find very difficult is being loved, receiving love. That feels very unfamiliar to them. As they grew up, they never really felt that consistently, so it's alien to them. It doesn't feel right. Now, before we dive further into what attracts an avoidant and how to deal with him, let's make one thing very clear. It's not your job to fix him. And it's also not your job to turn into someone he doesn't run away from. You should not compromise what you need in a relationship. He should work on himself here and perhaps go to therapy, because the avoidant attachment style has very deep roots. He will possibly have been walking around with this since he couldn't even walk yet, as a baby. And so it's not your task to fix that, and in my opinion, you cannot fix it. And it's not your job to change your needs for him either. With that out of the way, let's continue. Avoidants are very afraid of someone who tries to control them, of someone who wants to be around them all the time, of someone who desires them deeply on an emotional level, of someone who's going to pin them down, because the avoidants need their time alone, and they need that time to self-regulate their own emotions. It's a little bit like introverts, but for very different reasons. So they are attracted to women that give them a lot of space because they truly need it. They also love women that will not need them. So women that are not so-called needy, in the words of the avoidant. They prefer someone who will not easily get upset, for example. And they may think, see, I'm not asking for emotional support from you, so please don't ask it from me. Leave me alone. I have a hard enough time managing my own emotions, you know. I cannot take yours on top of that. So they are very attracted to independent women that do not bother them with these things. And sometimes you would think they should just date a robot. And I bet if they could, some of them would. But, and this is really important, they usually overestimate what the so-called needy women are really asking for. First of all, the avoidant man is probably making the woman needy. He's creating the issue, and he could potentially solve it by opening up a bit. He thinks it's this huge thing, while the woman may just need some verbal reassurance or some affection, which is very normal. And that's not hard. The avoidant is making it hard. Again, an avoidant man can even destabilize a woman with a secure attachment style. He can make secure people feel insecure. And here is how you can help him, and most importantly, yourself. Try to be very direct. Try to tell him exactly what it is you need. Don't make him guess it, because then he will turn a molehill into Mount Everest. If I tell you I love you, I just like to hear it back. Oh, and that's it? Of course I love you. I will try that. Say, if I come home from work, I just want you to listen for a couple of minutes to how my day went. Really? And that's it? You don't want me to fix all of your problems for you or to manage all of your emotions? No. When we go for a walk, I just love to hold hands. It makes me feel connected to you. And that's it? And then some other imaginary Mount Everest he created? And I'm not joking here. A lot of avoidants will overestimate what their girlfriend truly needs. So be clear and specific and ask for what you need. And always do that, by the way. Ask for what you need. Because if he then still cannot give it, if he still shuts down, if he's unwilling to work on this, well then he's not worth it. It's not a good match then. He will not be able to satisfy your needs. He should find himself another avoidant perhaps, or that robot. Now to be clear, avoidants are not bad people. They mean well and they often don't know they are an avoidant. It's very hard for them to see that. They often had a very difficult childhood and they have learned to not trust anyone, to live in their own internal bubble, so to speak. So as soon as they open up to you, it freaks them out. And that brings me to another thing, kindness. Try to be kind to the avoidant that is trying to make it work. No need to be kind to someone that treats you badly, but if the avoidant is trying, the more upset and emotional you get, the more he will shut down. So in order for you to get what you need, your best approach is to be kind. And there are two main reasons why. First, it should bring out the best in him, and if that is not good enough for you, then that is very valuable information. Second, avoidants have trust issues, and your kindness builds trust. It encourages positive associations with closeness. That's really interesting. Being close with someone doesn't have to end up in fights or being ignored or other bad things I experienced in my past. Making closeness feel safe might be healing for him. However, like I said, it's not your job to fix him, and even when you are kind, trying to build a healthy relationship with an avoidant who's not actively working on his issues is like climbing Mount Everest in your bathing suit, cold and very hard, just so we stay realistic. It's hard even when he is working on himself, but it's near impossible if he doesn't know he has these issues or dismisses them. To me, kindness is a great way to see if you are dealing with a good partner or not. If you are kind and the other person tries to take advantage of that, there's no mutual respect, or your partner feels better than you and belittles you, then that's very valuable information, of course. So the kindness can help you to uncover bad types of men, like narcissists, that may sometimes look like avoidance, but are a totally different kind of person. The avoidant means well, the narcissist does not. Here's another weird thing avoidants are sometimes very attracted to: the ex they broke up with. Yeah, here's how this one works. Avoidant man falls for a woman, she isn't very interested right away, so his attraction can grow. There is no threat yet, but then she falls for him, and all is still well until it isn't. Because a couple of weeks or months into the relationship, he starts to get really annoyed by the little things. The noises she makes while she's eating, the way she uses her phone, or the way she breathes at night. You know, normal deal breakers. And that was sarcasm, so he has to break up with her, and he says, "It's not you, it's me," but in all honesty, he's thinking, "It's not me, it's you. I cannot possibly make it work with someone like you." Great. He dodged a bullet. He's happy that the relationship is over, and there's a huge weight that has been lifted off his shoulders. Some time goes by, his avoidant attachment system starts to truly deactivate because the threat is gone, and then one day he wakes up thinking, "Wow, she was actually a great woman, and I loved her a lot. I still love her. She was the best girlfriend I ever had." Uh-oh. Yep, because there was no closeness or intimacy, the mist was gone, and the original love can reappear. And he may now try to get back together with her, so this entire thing can happen again. Yeah, she's going to love that one. And the big problem here, and again a difference with a narcissist for example, is that his feelings seem real to him. A lot of avoidants are unaware that there is such a thing as an avoidant attachment style, let alone what it means and how it makes them run, even though they love someone, or perhaps because they love someone. And then another person men with an avoidant attachment style are often very attracted to is the one that got away, or the one they haven't met yet, the perfect woman. Yeah, the one that got away usually feels like a very important person because, as her name implies, she got away before things got serious, before his attachment system got activated. So he was attracted to her, perhaps he loved her, but she got away before he got scared. Can you see why this is so important? He liked her, and he never got scared. That's the ideal scenario to him. That's what he's looking for. Someone to love that will not freak him out. But he doesn't realize she too would eventually have activated his defense system, of course. And then there is the one he hasn't met yet. This is just an idolized version of a hypothetical woman he will be able to love dearly without feeling his avoidance. The one where he will be able to fully open up, and he really longs for that. He wants to be in love and feel loved just like most people do. It's just that when he meets her, when she comes too close, his defense system will activate nevertheless. Needless to say, he has a lot of work to do. So, if you are still watching at this point here, then I hope that the man you fall for is not an avoidant, because that will make things a lot easier, as you have seen. And when he is, then I truly hope that he realizes that and that he wants to work on that. Now, if you like this topic and you want me to make more videos about avoidant men, please let me know that in the comments. And if you have ever been with an avoidant man, please let me and the other viewers know in the comments what that was like, what you have learned and what you have done. And if enough people are interested, I might make a much longer podcast about this topic, so make sure that you are subscribed to my mailing list on brianknox.com. And if you would like to read or listen to any of my books, you can go to Amazon, type my pen name Brian Knox in the search box over there, then you will get a list of all of my books. I want to thank you for not avoiding the end of this video and for still being here. I love it when you do that, and I hope to see you in another video.